Okay, so this week in our announcement, if you're seeing this, whatever, you're probably already getting this video from the announcement. But anyway, this week's announcement, what you're going to notice here is we're taking our midterm this week. Okay, our midterm. Please check your calendar just in case this is from the previous semester. All the other information should be the same. But the midterm for this semester is Monday and Tuesday, meaning you can come any day on Monday the 18th or Tuesday the 19th. You can come either day and take your test. But you cannot just show up. You have to have an appointment. So you'll notice if you're going to take the midterm in our Q Building Testing Center, then you're going to use this link right here, and you're going to sign in, and you'll see it's going to pull up your personal schedule and show what dates and times are available for you to take your test. I'm the teacher, so I don't have any options, but you should see them loading right here. Please also pay attention. This is going to be a policy and procedure that you're expected to fill out when you get here. And this will say, there we are. This will show you. You need to know the instructor's last name, first name. My last name is Dwork. My first name is David. Good news, there's only one Dwork. So if you get Dwork, they're going to know who you belong to. What class? We're MAT212. And they're going to fill out the seat number, okay, what seat you're going to sit in. You need to know your last name and your first name and your signature and what date it is. And just please make sure you read this. They provide lockers for you to store things when you get here, but please make sure you read this to understand what is expected, what is not expected. Okay. What I will say is essentially they provide pencils, they provide paper, they provide calculators. So they provide the test. So you need to provide your brain and an ID. Okay. So make sure when you come, right when you come, you need a picture ID, driver's license, student ID, something of that nature, passport, and then you also need my name, Professor Dwork, Math 212. Okay. Um, so you have either of those days to come. You have to find a time slot. It's a 2-hour test, so just make sure that your time slot you select gives you the full 2 hours to take the test. You're not going to miss another class or work or something of that nature. And then also, I'm going to suggest that you get here early, right? Because there could be a line, there could be, a slight bog down. So if you show up right at the time you're supposed to be testing, that will be time that you don't get to test. So get here early. Make sure you are able to get, everything put away, get everything taken care of before your testing time starts. If you cannot come on campus, then we have an option called Proctoru. The link's right here or the link's right here. What I'm going to say is you need to go through here, you need to sign up, and get yourself registered with with them and learn about their process. They're going to need a computer with a high-speed internet. You're going to need to have a webcam, and so just kind of go through their requirements, right? And they're going to kind of tell you exactly what needs to happen. And I believe when you sign up, you can even have them do a test on your computer. You have to install some software on it, but they're going to do a test on your computer to make sure everything is okay. So anyway, so you're going to log in through them, take the test with them. There is a fee. This is an outside company that Maricopa has approved for safety, security, and privacy reasons. So we can't just use anybody. We have to use somebody that's Maricopa approved. But that is not Maricopa. So you have to pay a fee if you want to use them. It's usually, I think it's somewhere around $20 or $25. So that's at least what it was when we used them last time I used them years ago. So should be in that ballpark. And so you have to decide, it's if you can come on campus, best. If you can't, come use them. They're great. And then the other thing is understand what they're here for. They are here to verify that you did everything right. So meaning they're your backup, they're your support. They're to say, yep, I saw them, I watched them log in, I watched them take their test, I watched them hit submit on every problem that they entered into this more system. And therefore, when the computer exploded, I saw them do it. I don't know, whatever. But they're your backup. But they don't do anything for you other than provide the password for the test, and be your vouch. Like they're going to vouch for you that you did everything right. Everything else is on you. You have to still go into the test in, so I'll have to change the name. It used to be Monitor ED. You'll have to change it to Proctoru. So it's going to say midterm for Proctoru. You're going to click into that test. It's going to come up on the screen. You're going to do the problems on paper, just like you did for test number 1. Within 30 minutes of completing your test with them, they timestamp it. When you leave, you need to have your midterm work uploaded within 30 minutes. If it's not, pictures not taken, put it into a PDF and upload it in a single file. You will not be graded. Your midterm will not be graded. It has to be done within 30 minutes. Okay. So, but hopefully that's old hat at this point. You've got that process down. So you're go through them, but you still have the same 2 hours to take your test. The only difference is they're 24 hours a day, so you can take it whenever you want. And then, if you're coming on campus, I will say there is also a file here that is provided just as a reminder for this is the requirements for the Math Center, and some tips. If you don't know where the Math Center is, they do have a map right here, where you can see we are in the Q building. Okay, so you're not. This is the like where the main parking lot is. This is arrows not pointing to the testing center. The testing center is in the Q building. So you're either going to park in the parking lot off of 32nd Street, in here. There also is a little bit of parking behind the building back here as well. So let's see if I can zoom in. Yeah, so there's parking in the back of the building or in the front of the building. But if that parking's full, then you can always use any of the other parking lots and you walk. It's a nice little walk right between the baseball fields. The weather's great, so it's fantastic. Okay, so you've got masks are required on campus when you're indoors. Okay, so if you're walking outside, that's not an issue. But when you come into a building, we expect you to have a mask on. If you forget one or don't have one, please don't rush and run home. We have some in the Math Center. We have a few. So please, just in an emergency, we can provide one. Don't panic. So you'll need ID, you'll need your name and password, right? Actually, you won't need that for our class. Okay, our class, just all paper, so you don't need that. And if you want to bring a clear plastic bottle to drink, they will allow that. Anyway, so take a read, and let me know if there's any questions. I'm glad I went through this, though, because you do not need, for our class, we don't do anything in more. You don't need anything there. If you're taking the test here on campus. If you're taking it at home, then obviously you need to log into more to take it, through more with Proctoru. So this week, what do we have to do to help us practice? We have a practice midterm generator. So I'm going to scroll down to the midterm section. And in here, you're going to see this is a repeat of what we just saw above. And we have a thing, it's called midterm review. And what this is going to do is it's going to create a test that is remarkably similar in length to that of the midterm, except you'll see it does have broken out here using first and second derivative to determine minimum and maximums. Okay, so can you do this? Can you do this? Right, problems. And it tells you what sections these came from. Finding critical points, like how do we remember how to find critical points? Solving the geometric optimization problems, solving a cost, a profit, whatever. So it's going to kind of break down to you. These are the key things I need you to make sure you practice for the midterm. Finding the implicit derivative, solving related rates, finding derivatives using formal definition, instantaneous versus average rate of change problems, anyway, so you guys got the idea. And then derivatives, and evaluate a limit, right? And so this is going to help you practice. Now, of course, when you hit submit, just like all the other ones where there were multiple attempts, right? You can review, you can see what the correct answer should have been. You can see what your score was. We can retake it. And when we hit retake, we get new problems, right? They're all going to fit in the same categories, right? But there are new versions, okay? So the key to this is do it over and over and over until you can get 100%. And you can always ask me questions. You can send me pictures of your work. If you get stuck, you can say, is this right? Am I showing my work right? Whatever, okay? That is crazy important that you do that. Now, the other thing, please, 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 watch the videos I made for you for your test 1 work. Okay? Lots of you got information about what I saw in your work and what was right or what was wrong and what I need changed. And this test is worth 30%. So you need to take what I said in those videos and apply that during the midterm. If you have any questions, please ask me. That's what I'm here for. Okay. So how do you see those? I can't show you because I am a teacher, but you're going to click in the gradebook. Actually, let me try something. Okay, I just made a fake student. So now I'm in here. I can show you. All right. So again, it's not going to show week 7. It's going to show week 8. Right. Whatever. We'll get that fixed. But because I'm changing right now. But what we're going to do here is if I click into the gradebook and I scroll down to my test number 1, I say view feedback. And in here, now I press the little plus button and I can watch the video, or I can click on the link itself and watch the video. Remember, you're only going to see me going through your work. So then simultaneously, you can open up another tab to look at your test itself, right? So you're going to hear me talking about number 1, number 2, number 3. This is what I saw, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you can look at this while you watch the video. All right. So if you have any other questions or concerns, please let me know. But because that is the key. Once we take the test, especially if you're in Proctoru, once you click in, your timer starts. There's nothing I can do to stop it. So ask any question before you start taking the test, or before, early in the week, so we can get everything, ironed out and we're all comfortable, because this test is worth a 30% of your grade, so we have to do really, really well on it. And I will say that is not a policy. Sometimes students are like, that's so big. That's not a policy I wanted. That's a policy that our administration kind of made us do, as they said. We couldn't have any other stipulations on grades. It had to be points earned is the grade earned. So we were forced to make sure that we have to, by law, we have to verify the person earning the grade is the person being awarded the grade. So we had to make sure a way that you are doing the work and not, somebody else. Because at home, if you're just doing these things at home, you could very much just have a tutor doing it, or something of that nature. So not saying that you would, but this is why we've kind of been forced into this policy. And they also said we're only allowed to have 2 proctored tests a semester. So we were forced into, this is our scenario, midterm and final proctored, and they have to be weighted enough that we can feel comfortable that if you earn a good score on these, or a decent score on these, they're going to get you the score, in the class that you deserve. All right. So any questions, any thoughts, please let me know. Always here to help.